Dogs going live today. We ended up on transport and go to rescue, which when you're a volunteer, when you're a worker, when you're in any type of animal type situation and you watch dogs leave a crowded animal shelter and go to a no-kill state in a no-kill location, you know the work that you're doing is paying off in some respects. So just as we found that out, I thought they were going to leave around 10 this morning. There was some confusion, but Hudson is going. He's up here waiting in one of the runs now. Just spent some time with him. Miss Anderson is going. She's in one of the runs too. And it looks like about 7 of the 15 dogs are going to have the runs taken up, meaning that they were staged in other areas where they wouldn't normally put dogs, just so they wouldn't have to euthanize for space. So as much as the good stuff is going on, we just had a brand new list of 9 that went live maybe within the past 2 hours. And of those 9, because the dogs are coming in so fast, we don't have a whole lot of information about well, I only had information of 2 of the 9 because I'm trying to focus on the ones that are just now getting here to give them a little bit better chance, while some of the other volunteers are working nonstop on the high risk list. So right now I'm hanging out with this big dude named Wrigley. Wrigley, come say hey. Come say hey. Look at the size of this monster. I don't think I need a leash. I think I need a saddle for him. So I love white pitties for some reason. I adopted one from Myrtle Beach Humane Society many years ago. They said she was 7 years old. They didn't expect her to live very long. And 11 long years later, she passed away. She had a very happy life. That particular place was very, I believe that was a Humane Society, and they did not put dogs down. And Punky was the longest resident there. She was probably one of the most beloved residents there when she left. And she was skittish, she was scared. They found her tied to the fence of the Humane Society. She had just given birth. It was just her, no puppies or anything. And one of those dogs, if you would take her out anywhere, like if you take her out in the yard, she hides under stuff. That's how scared she was. I don't know what her life was before I adopted her. I know what it was like afterwards. But she was just one of those, your heart just goes out to her. And she ended up living an incredible life. And so I guess she's the one that got me wanting to push a little bit extra hard for kind of the white pit bulls. I would take her out on the boat and didn't realize this, but because of her fair skin, she would get sunburned. So I had to put sunscreen and sunblock on her. Didn't know that. Know it now. But this big old guy's name is Wrigley. So Wrigley has a fascinating story. When I first saw him, he did not have a check mark. And the check marks on the dog things are normally an indication that we should not walk them. Either they haven't been spayed or neutered, they could be sick, they could be just coming off the stray hold. So there's reasons for that. So as soon as he got his check mark, I picked up Wrigley and brought him out in the field. And this is just a big, gentle giant. Like, look at the size of this monster. Hey, buddy, look at you. So it doesn't say it on the card, but after talking with some staff members, it's my understanding that Wrigley was put here on a 10-day hold because he bit somebody. And, looking at him, he can look a little intimidating. But I was told that he bit a homeless person. Now, regardless of who he bit, if a dog bites somebody, they have protocols, and DHEC makes you follow through with all that stuff. But the first question that came to mind is, what was the situation? Did someone approach him? Did someone approach the owners? And he was being defensive? I don't quite understand that. And I think the story's accurate because of the sources that it was coming from. But his size can definitely be intimidating, but he's one of those dogs like Knox that smiles all the time. So came in, served his quarantine, and the owners said, well, we don't want him because we think he might be violent. So he was adopted here as a puppy. He obviously put on some size and some weight in that time. And then his owner said, you know what, he bit somebody, we're done. And he came in early August. And, you know, when you walk through the kennels, he just stands out. So the trainer up here, Wrigley is her favorite. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the tags, but they allow us to put our favorites if we're associated with the shelter, if we're volunteers, if we work there. They allow us to put our little name tags on there just to try to give the dogs a little bit more promotion. So if hers was not on Wrigley, mine would have been on there. Of course, mine was on Gloria, and Gloria just got fostered Saturday after the doggy day out, which is absolutely incredible. So Wrigley, once his owners didn't come back for him, we would all look at him and say, man, this is a big old dude. So there's a lot of us that have kind of got on the bandwagon. We take him out every time we get a chance. He's kind of a big lazy dude. Look at him. I don't know if you can see him over there, but he's just chilling out like Punky did, just underneath the bench. Kind of wants to stay out of the sun. He chased the tennis ball but wouldn't bring it back. He got to it and he was just kind of disinterested in it. I do have a pocket full of treats. Let's see if we can get him some treats. Wrigley. Oh, you big old dude. You big old dude. Wow. So if you know somebody looking for a big pit bull, and this is like a big teddy bear pit bull, tell them to come on up, Columbia Animal Services in Columbia, South Carolina. If you know a rescue that can pull him, they've already done dog testing. He's dog tested friendly. We haven't done cat, I may have done a cat test. They told us to stop doing them, but I may have done it before they stopped. But he is, he's probably the size of a couch, but he's probably a big couch potato. So probably can't rest on the couch with you. You have to go get another couch just for Wrigley, or just go lay on him as your couch. But somehow this guy put on high risk. I just did a Facebook video of the reasons that the 9 dogs that are now on the euthanasia list are actually on the list. I'll be releasing that to YouTube later today too. Sad stuff, but hopefully we can get this big old dude out of here. As far as I'm aware, the last 4 or 5 lists since they've started publishing them, every single dog has gotten out of here, either with a foster or a rescue or adopter. But I got a feeling this one's going to be a little bit different, because even with the 15 leaving, it doesn't leave up a whole lot of space. When the 19 left last month, it gave us a little bit of cushion, and 15 certainly helps. But you know, we're struggling. There's too many people abandoning their dogs, and we hope that we can get this guy at least a foster. Love to get him a forever home. My 2 fosters are leaving today, and I took in another one last night to get that one on transport. And so all 3 of them are getting loaded up here in the next hour, and we will see what happens, and I'll keep you guys updated on it. Probably not going to be able to go live from there because of where it's at, but that video will be on YouTube probably by tomorrow. You want to say bye, Wrigley? Look at that face. How do you turn that face down? Look at that guy. Look at that big old dude. I didn't bring any sunscreen, so we might have to go grab some sunscreen so Wrigley does not get sunburned today. Talk to you guys later. Big old Wrigley.